Hi there, thank you so much for tuning in. This session is to give you some tips and pointers on planning for your own photo shoot. So that could be something that you're taking yourself, or you could have a professional photographer taking them for you. And these are some steps that will make it easier for you to create a photo shoot that reflects more of your values and who you are. And so we're going to be using Pinterest. So I'm in my main Pinterest page here. I've got heaps of boards. I'm a bit obsessed. I use this a lot for a lot of client work. I've already created a board here, which is specifically for my brand. And so I'm going to open it up here. And so when you go into it, you can see at the top, I've broken it down. You can create some subboards within this, which I've created, and I'll explain a little bit later. You can create boards within that board, basically just like having a folder or sections in a magazine. And so the first step I'm going to get you to do is I want you to create and curate a selection of images that represent who you are and how you want to be seen to the world. And so for me, I'll start scrolling through the images that I've been pinning to this board. I want you to just be quite free to begin with, and so to go through and just anything that you're drawn to. So try to stay on task in that's a reflection of your business and not pinning kind of random cat photos or things that are unrelated to what you do or unrelated to your style. And so I'll go through here. My style of my business is, I guess, quite warm, authentic. I like to take photographs of people who make things, who I guess are quite warm and authentic themselves. And so if you kind of start scrolling through here, there's lots of nature involved, golden light, kind of shadows playing. There's a sense of freedom and openness to them and imperfection. I've even pinned some color charts as well to sort of show the colors that I like, that I'm drawn to. And there's just an imperfection and a kind of movement to a lot of the shots as well. So they're kind of not perfect, but they're showing a sense of feeling and essence about people and what they do, not necessarily a practical sense. And so that's my main one there. And so then I go through and I create, I go pretty hard. And so there might be like 50 or 60 images there. And then I'd like you to sort of shortlist maybe, I don't know, like 10 or 15 or 20 of your favorites. And you can do that via clicking the star button underneath the image there. And then you can select where you're at with how many favorites you've got by going to this little button here. And you can go favorite pins. And then now that just shows my favorites. And so there might be, actually that didn't work then. So favorite pins. And that there is just my favorite images at the top. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to all pins, which is here. And then the next step is to kind of break the Pinterest board down into different sections, which I'll follow with the next tutorial. And just keep in mind that I've created a blog post here that the video sits in the container, and there'll also be screenshots on each step of the process and then some question prompts so that you've got some more information on how that works. So the who part here, if you go into who, is I'm thinking about who. So who is the person behind the business and who creates that product or service. And I've created a whole bunch of images or pinned a whole bunch of images that are a reflection of how I want to project who I am. And so it's also showing the personal aspects of my life, which is I'm into kind of homesteading stuff, quite warm and authentic. I like having, I like to make food. And so all those visuals are sort of shown in the who part and portraits of how I'd like to be represented. And so that's what you need to do here is capture some portraits on how you like to be seen. So I'll go back to the other part of the board, which is the how. And so the how is how do you make what you do? So if you're a product or service, so what is the process involved? And so this is your chance to sort of show a behind the scenes on how things happen. How do you do what you do? And so this is your opportunity to share this process builds value around what you do. And so if you produce something, the more you kind of show behind the scenes and the effort that goes into it, I guess the more value that is built into it. And so that here you can see behind the scenes of shoot setups and some books that I might use as inspiration. I'll go back here. And then the what is the end result of what you sell or offer. And so for me, I take photographs and videos. And so the end result are these are the images that I'd like to use to project who I am to my customers. And they're all light-filled, golden, and filled with nature, and also offer educational services as well, like photography. So I hope that helps. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day.